Hello there. I've just been at the cinema, obviously, because why else would I be here? I don't know where to start. I've just been to see Don't Worry Darling. I have to force myself to say darling, not darling. And unless you've been living under a rock for the last month or so, you will have heard something about this film. There's been a lot of speculation and nonsense surrounding it, but I've been interested since I first saw a trailer, I guess earlier this year. So sticking to the facts of the matter, it is the second feature film from actor, director Olivia Wilde, who I'd say is most famous for playing 13 in House, in the long-running medical drama House that Hugh Laurie starred in. She played a doctor who went by the name of 13. She's been in various other things. Her first film, her directorial debut, if you will, was a film called Booksmart that was out a few years ago, which I absolutely bloody loved. Like, I loved Booksmart so much. Yesterday's review for Ticket to Paradise, when I was whining on about Caitlin Dever, the first thing I ever saw her in was Booksmart, and she's superb in that. So that was Olivia Wilde's first film. This is her second. I was excited when I knew she was going to be behind the camera again. She's also in front of the camera on this one, so she also stars in it. And it is set in a utopian 1950s paradise of sorts. You've got a community of families who all live together in the desert in something called the Victory Project, or the place is called Victory, and then all the husbands are working on the Victory Project, and on the surface of it, it looks absolutely perfect. They all have these lovely houses, the women make the dinner and they make the drinks and they look pretty and they go shopping, and it's all sort of blissful. And their husbands go off to work and then they come home, and the following day they do it all again, and the sun shines and it's all delightful. But there's very clearly more to it than that. There is something going on underneath the surface, behind the scenes, both, that could possibly be a little bit sinister. At the centre of it all, the main couple that we're focused on are Jack and Alice. Jack is played by Harry Styles, and Alice is played by Florence Pugh. Now then, can we just stick a pin in the film chat for a minute while I wang on about those two? Because, Jesus Christ, talk about low-key obsessed. I mean, not even low-key obsessed. We'll go Flo Pugh first. Florence Pugh is 26 years old. She is one of the best actresses this country has produced in some time. I mean, actually, that's not fair, because we're just banging them out. We've got some absolute belters coming out of this country and off into the worlds of stage and screen, and big screen and small screen. But there is something about Florence Pugh, and obviously directors see it because she's been in all sorts of things, but she's just, I can't not watch her. Like, she's so magnetic when she's on screen. So the first thing I saw her in was Fighting with My Family, which actually I think was one of my first ever reviews on this channel, back when it was called What Katie Saw. Was it called What Katie Saw? What Katie Watched? I think it was called What Katie Saw before it became Katie in a Car. But yeah, that was directed by Stephen Merchant. It is based on the true story of a girl from Norwich who went on to be crowned Divas champion in the WWE. And Florence plays the role of Paige, or Saraya, I think is her real name. The girl who battled and scraped and clawed her way out of Norwich to be the very best in women's wrestling in the WWE. And she was brilliant in that. I absolutely loved her in that. And then I've seen her in Little Women, where she plays the least likeable March sister, Amy. Amy? Yeah, she's Amy. Amy's a brat. Florence Pugh made her likeable. I'm nodding towards the cinema because that's where I watched it. She is in Black Widow. She plays Elena, Black Widow's quote-unquote sister. Absolutely hilarious. Russian accent to die for. Just really, really funny and good with the fight scenes and the action. I can't fault her. I said this about Caitlin Dever yesterday, but I've never seen her give a bad performance. She's so watchable. Oh, Midsommar, she's in that as well. And there was overtones between the two. The sort of blue skies, sun shining, everyone's smiling, something's going on behind the scenes. Obviously, is a core theme of Midsommar as well. She's incredible. I love her. She's fantastic. Married to, in this, Harry Styles, right? Now, I could talk for another 5 minutes about Harry Styles because I've had not a thing for, that sounds really creepy, but ever since he first auditioned for X Factor when he was 15, I've always just thought, there's something about this lad. He's obviously got a reasonable face on him, you know, didn't fall out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. He's quite talented, and by that I mean really talented. There's a scene in the film actually where he dances on stage. From the trailer it looked like maybe he was going to sing, but he doesn't. But he does like a full-on tap dance sort of performance, and then one of the other husbands, one of the other Victory Project workers says, it's a good job you can dance, because, you know, I think he said something like, I mean, thank goodness you can dance because your face is nothing to write home about, or something like that. But he is ridiculous. He's 28. He is so handsome, so talented. He's got a beautiful voice. He writes great songs. He plays guitar. He's funny. He appears to be quite kind. He's all about inclusion and, you know, just like, he's ridiculous. And he's really good in this. Like, he's really good. He has his own accent. He is meant to be British, so he hasn't attempted an American accent. I'm sure he can do one. But he does play a Brit. But, like, he's good. There was no part of me, it was the same when I first saw him in Dunkirk, all those years ago. There's no part of me that's going, that's Harry Styles. And I don't believe him as Jack Chambers or as a soldier on the beaches of Dunkirk. Yeah, he's really, really good, man. Chris Pine is in it as well, so he plays Frank. He's in charge of the Victory Project. He's a sort of borderline sinister guru, overlord, puppet master. It's tricky because there is quite a significant sort of twist within the plot, which obviously I'm not going to spoil, so it's quite difficult to talk about. But I can talk about the fact that it looks great, like it's really stylish. The outfits on all the women, all the dresses and the hair, and like everything is fabulous. And like, oh my god, Florence Pugh, man, in those dresses, just beautiful. And it's all this sort of surface, it's all beautiful, it's all, you know, a change in the world, and Alice, Florence Pugh's character, just starts to go, yeah, something's not right here. One of the other wives, Margaret, has started to sort of, well, I was say malfunction, they're not robots, it's not Stepford. But something's gone wrong with Margaret, you know, and it's all about, we don't leave the project, we don't go to headquarters, we obey the rules, and if we obey the rules, then we have happy husbands and lovely homes, and we eat and we drink and we dance and we smoke, and then, you know, we just have this fabulous life. And as I say, there was a lot of fuss, there was a lot of drama at the Venice Film Festival. There was a stupid rumour that Harry spat on Chris Pine in the audience. It didn't happen. Florence Pugh only did like the one press thing. She did the red carpet at the Venice Film Festival, but didn't really do anything else. So there was quite a lot of sort of just drama and controversy surrounding the film. But I've wanted to see it since I first saw a trailer. I have now seen it and I really enjoyed it. It was stylish and incredibly well acted and interesting. It's not perfect. I don't think it's quite as clever as it thinks it is or as it wants to be, but it kept me guessing. I was gripped. I was really tense during sort of the final chase sequence when they're trying to run Alice down. It's in the trailer. It's fine. It's not a spoiler. Yeah, I loved it. I've gone over 10 minutes, which I try not to do. But that's probably because I was talking about Florence Pugh and Harry Styles for quite a while. Yeah, I really liked it. It's good. There was a quartet of teenagers in there. It is a 15 certificate because it's a bit sweary and a bit rude and a bit stabby in places, bit, violent. And there's clearly a quartet of 15-year-olds who just didn't get it. So they dicked about on their phones and I hated them from a distance. But I enjoyed it, and I know that I'll think about it in the days to come and sort of puzzle it out. But yeah, interesting, really interesting. Completely different to what I saw yesterday, which is again different to what I saw last Monday. Yeah, I love it, man. All about the films, all about the cinemas, and all about the reviews in the car parks. I've got to go. I'm over like nearly 11 and a half minutes. I'm so sorry. Who listens this far? Who knows? Anyway, I'm going. Katie out.